if the Bengals win a Super Bowl with Joe Burrow as quarterback, this draft will be a huge reason why. And if they don't, this draft will be a huge reason why.
Yeah.
This is a pivotal draft for 1,000 different reasons. If they screw this up, the window is going to shut without a title. If they get this right, Joe Burrow is going to lead us to a parade.
I think that's probably it's probably too general. I mean, I think that this year, I more so than any, I think this year will be affected by what happens here, where that's not always the case.
Right.
You know, you can usually speak more of, in the window, in the next 3 to 4 years. I think like this year is the one that's going to be most affected because they have more time to fix some of the ailments going down the line, and you can figure out ways to reform it. But they have found themselves in this spot where like this draft needs to produce help this year, and it can. Like it sets up to be able to do so, and if they do it right, and I'm not saying a clean sweep of 6 for 6 hit picks and 2 home runs, and no one's saying that. But if they get,
I need 4 doubles.
I think that's probably asking a lot.
Four doubles.
4 doubles is a lot. Doubles are hard to get. I mean, if maybe by the time you get to January, you've got a couple of doubles and a single. I mean, some of the best drafts, you're getting 3 really good players out of them, right? And they would take that today and run to the season, especially if it's at certain positions. But I don't. I just think they really need to hit in a couple of spots. More so than they normally do. And that's an uncomfortable place to be in as you sit here on April 8th, but that's where they're at.
But I say 4 doubles because they've whiffed in free agency. And because they've whiffed in previous drafts. The jury is still out about last year. There's a lot of encouraging signs that point to last year's draft being a success. But, I put a lot on this draft for the reasons you just articulated, but I kind of feel like they need more than the normal load. You're right. A typical draft, if there's 3 good players, a couple of guys that you signed to a second contract, successful haul. But when you have, you did your, the Athletic did the city by city sort of team needs post free agency. Yours read like the Bengals team needs pre free agency. I got it right here.
Change.
Hard to pin down just one need, and you go through defensive tackle, linebacker, long-term replacement at safety, pretty much backup swing tackle, pretty much everybody but receiver. Well, when that's the case, you might not need 4 all-pro guys, but you need a lot of dudes who can step in and help instantly.
Not only do they need something out of this class, they need more out of previous classes.
Sure.
It's the combination of both. They just need more. And then eventually, you find yourself here organizationally at some points in time. And a lot of times it's when you're spending a lot of money at the top end of your balance sheet. And they're doing that. Where you do have to say, all right, young guys got to do it. Go get them. And that's okay. I don't have a huge problem with that. At a certain point, you're going to be defined by whether your young guys become something. And if they do, that ends up being the heartbeat of teams that make runs. That happens all the time.